thing.
Guys, so today we're gonna finish buffing this thing. So in the last video you see me take that hood, and Brandon did a really good job sanding it down. He compounded it with the foam pad, and then basically this is the stages that I did. Is so first is the foam pad compound, second is the wool pad compound, foam pad compound, wipe everything off, make sure it's all clean, then do the black pad with the polishing stuff, and then after that I do the blue pad. And as you can see, this is number 1, this is the compound, this is number 2, that's the black pad, black tip, white pads, and then the blue, which is number 3. So especially on black, you always kind of want to do like a 3-stage type of polish, and we did finish this thing in 2000 grit. So I was just wiping it down, getting ready to start buffing, and I forgot that we didn't do this little section right here. So you can see, like right there, that's like a little dirt speck, and then you go down just a little bit, and you can see we kind of touched it a little bit, but I'm gonna go ahead and actually wet sand that, just probably with 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 like the rest of the car, and then I'm gonna go ahead and start buffing on this guy, because I'm excited to see her get done. Oh, and David got here a little bit before me, well, a lot earlier than me, and he went ahead and primed the mirrors, the little side spat things that go down the side, and the door handles, so we will be spraying those tonight as well. So yeah, things are moving along nice, but I mean, nothing's gonna happen unless we start buffing. Man, look at that freaking black Supra right there. So if you look at it from over here, you're like, man, that thing looks beautiful. But then you stroll up on it and you start looking, and you're like, uh-oh. Like, what are all those little swirlies? And you see that right there? That's something that happens when you get her just like a smidge too hot, and you kind of make the compound hot. So in order to get rid of that, you gotta put like a little smidge on it. Give it like a little rub with your fingers. Clean it off real nice, and then you grab this, give that the little wipe, and you can see where that little spot went away. So obviously this thing is just in compound. Again, we are doing a 3-stage polish on this thing. And so the first stage, especially on black, if this thing was white or yellow or something like that, a lighter color, it kind of hides that haziness to it. So when you're working with the black, man, it's a lot of work, like polishing this thing out to make it look really nice and make it look black and almost like a mirror. And so you can see we're pretty close, and especially if you stand back here, you can kind of see the door looks a little bit hazy because that's a little bit dusty, but where I haven't actually fully wiped that thing yet. But yeah. So basically, the next stage is going to be the black pad with the black compound or whatever. It's more of a polishing compound than anything else. But one of the things I kind of wanted to show you guys is kind of when you get to this stage, you're like, oh man, all right, ready to load load the black pad on there and start smashing everything on. So you got to wipe all the compound off, but then you start seeing little hazy spots. So here's a good example up here. So you can see on the roof, you're like, uh-oh. So here's kind of the normal amount of haze that you could get away with polishing out, about right there. That's about where we want it. And so if you start coming over here, you look at that and you're like, oh no. So you can see there's a few little pigtails and stuff in there, and that's from the DA sander. I tried getting a little bit lazy and went ahead and put some 1500 on the DA. And the issue with that is when you're sanding it by hand, is you could hear it squeak if you get like a little rock or something under there, or a little piece of dirt. And that's basically what happens here, is a little piece of dirt gets kind of stuck in the paper, and then you just kind of end up smearing it all over. Whereas if your hands like sanding it by hand, you can hear it go, and then you're like, all right, I need to stop, clean the paper, wipe the panel, start over. But the DA is a lot faster, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to re-hit this with some 2000 grit. I should be able to get all of them sand scratches and everything out with that, and then kind of re-compound that area. Another thing is you got to kind of check the edges and stuff. You can see this right here is just like slathered around compound, so I'll have to get that all off before I start. But again, it's a lot of work. But you could see like right there on the edge, that could probably use a little bit more compounding. Yeah, but I mean, this whole process is kind of you just kind of have to do it and not be scared. One of the things when I first started actually painting stuff out of my dad's garage, because I'm basically a self-taught painter. I watched a lot of YouTube videos back in the day, and there was this guy that was like trying to sell these courses and stuff, like painting his like Del Sol in the garage, which is fine. But there wasn't like a whole lot of like free information or kind of vlog style videos like this where people kind of take you along with it. And so I've tried to kind of show you guys a little bit along, the process, just in case you guys ever want to actually paint your whole thing. If you ever do want to paint a car or anything, I recommend, I have a video that I did like 5 years ago. It's like 40 minutes, which is painting a Civic from start to finish. It goes over some like basic bodywork techniques, sanding, masking, guide coat, things like that. Definitely there's been a lot more advanced stuff later in the videos, and especially like my techniques, I've learned a lot, especially being around here with Brandon. And that's why he's always over here in the videos, like helping me out. I'm like, hey, how do I do this? What's the best way to do that? And that's why he always pops over and helps me out. It's because I'm not afraid to ask questions. So don't be afraid to ask questions and stuff like that. But don't not watch any videos ever or research anything about painting a car and then like message me on Snapchat and be like, how do I paint my car? That's just too much time. I mean, I could spend a year like explaining that to you. Or at least like a couple really long-winded books of conversations, and then you still wouldn't get it. So I guess the desire to learn and mess up is a huge thing. But yeah, I mean, we've definitely came a long way. I mean, the Civic turned out amazing. My Supra turned out really good. This Supra turned out is turning out amazing. And again, I'm gonna run around those edges real quick and then hit it with the black stuff. But again, I just kind of figured I'd kind of explain the process, because I know the time lapses are sped up about 20 times, and then sometimes if it gets boring, I just ramp it in, so it's like 40 to 80 times speed of what it actually is. And most of the time, like the time lapse in this video will probably be about 5 to 6 hours of time lapse, condensed down to maybe a total of 5 or 6 minutes in a 20-minute video. So there's a lot of stuff that kind of happens, but yeah, I appreciate you guys listening to my rambles, and hopefully this either inspires you to paint a car, or I guess justifies somebody charging you, whatever to paint a car. I was talking to Brandon. I was like, what would you charge for a paint job like this on something? And he's like, about like $6 to $8 grand, depending. And that's like kind of a Colorado price. Like if this was in California, I guess they get like the paint jobs get a lot more expensive for like high-end custom stuff. But paint your stuff if you can. I mean, or take it to a body shop, because especially on something like this, sometimes you just want it to turn out nice. But I don't know, more sanding and polishing and compounding and all this stuff. Man, this thing's gonna look like a freaking diamond by the end of the night. Playing with it for a minute. You can see got rid of all them little pigtails and stuff that were right here on the edge, and that nice little sand scratch stuff that wasn't buffing out. And then I forgot, I got that little section right there too. So I'm gonna go ahead 2000 grit that down too, and then hit it. And then I guess one thing when you are buffing, it's I guess another thing is like when you're sanding, is you got to kind of crisscross applesauce it, because if you're just sanding in one spot, like you got to think the grit is going to get down to a certain point, and it's not going to sand because all them grooves are going the same way, and it just, once it cuts that groove, it's not really going to keep cutting in that groove unless you're like a smidge over, and then it kind of slices that groove a little bit. I don't know, it's kind of weird. So you got to kind of 45 it, crisscross applesauce it. Same thing when you're buffing. So when you're using the buffer, it's basically wiping it one way. So what you need to do is you need to rock the buffer so that it, if you kind of have it leaned this way, like that, it's going to wipe it back towards you. Whereas if you rock it back, it's going to wipe it away from you that way. And then if you like tilt it like this, it's going to push it. And then if you rock it on its tip, it's going to wipe it that way. So that's kind of, you got to kind of mess with that when you're doing it, and kind of at least I found that you have to get at least 2 angles on the same spot. So you either got to like wipe it towards you and then away from you, or this to that. And most of the time it's best if you get about 3 on there, and that's when it really, really goes away, and you get that nice haze that you want, which is pretty much that right there. And you can almost like, I mean, that's hazy, but like that's where a lot of people just call it good. We're not going to do that. We're going all the way. Alright guys, well we're getting close. Take a look at that. I mean that's pretty shiny. Looks a little funny because all the pieces right there are all dirty and stuff, but yeah, I mean this thing is super flat. You can see right there, that's about as flat as you could get, especially for being black too. I mean this thing just shines so nice. So yeah, oh the roof, holy crap, the roof turned out amazing. It kind of looks like there's a haze, like because of the light, but there's really not. I mean this thing's like freaking high gloss, super high definition type stuff. Still just only finished it with the black pad. There's a couple little spots I need to touch up on this side, but I will get to that tomorrow. One thing that's is kind of scary is how soft it is, how soft the paint still is right now, and so I'm gonna wait to do the final blue pad till we have all the handles and everything all on it. I'm basically just waiting to do that just because we are going to be touching it a lot. You know, like putting the hood on, putting the fenders, and, you know, aligning stuff and bolting the mirrors on and, you know, moving it around the shop and getting in and out of it. And then, but yeah, kind of before, let it harden up just a little bit more. And then we should be able to hit it with that, that pad right there. And we'll probably hit it with a DA too to kind of kill any swirls that, you know, may arise here in about a week or so. But, I mean, this thing is super, man, I'm really stoked on how this thing is turning out. A ton of work. I mean, an absolute ton of work. The Civic went by pretty quick just because it's yellow and it's not as crazy as a process as doing the black. But man, it's just so rewarding just looking at this thing, especially compared to how it was now. Like when we were shooting that promo video, you know, getting some of the footage and stuff back, like in one of the shots, like you could see just like scratches and everything like down the side of it. And it was a really cool shot, but there was just so many like scratches and swirls and all that other stuff. And I know a lot of you guys were giving me crap about like the brush at the car wash or whatever, but we knew that we were going to go ahead and get her done and get her painted. So yeah, hopefully you guys are stoked on this. And you know, again, I appreciate all the support and everybody getting entered. Again, MotionAutoTv.com. One of the things that we've actually been selling a decent amount of lately has been like the detail products and stuff, and that's basically what I've been using is this Show Shine detailer, which is basically body shop safe. It doesn't have any waxes or anything like that, so kind of what you get out of that is the true shine of your paint. There is the waterless wash that does have a little bit of carnauba wax in there, so that'll give you a little bit more of a gloss. But yeah, that stuff's kind of helping me clean this up, and it's definitely nice because it smells like key lime pie too. You got that emotional green too. But yeah, I guess that's it, guys. Appreciate you watching, and we'll see you guys in a couple days.